Wait, I want to get your thoughts. You talked about being part of the very first incarnation of NXT, which is drastically different from what we now know as NXT 2.0, even the NXT that really kind of blew up. What are your thoughts in sort of the evolution of the brand from you being an OG, so to speak, of the NXT brand to what it has grown and evolved into today as NXT 2.0?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, the 8 of us who were on that first NXT season 1, the entire concept of it, I think universally we hated it. The concept of, first of all, we're termed as rookies, which the vast majority of us on that show had been, working in the wrestling biz for at least kind of 6 years or something at that point. I know you did the indies before you ever came anywhere near FCW, and I know you were a pretty big deal on the indie scene in the UK at the time, and I was kind of working on that scene. I was on the outskirts of it in a different area, but we'd all been traveling around for £30 a night and being lucky if you could actually pay your gasoline at the end of the day, and you came away with a small profit. And we'd done that for years, so we were kind of upset that we were being billed as kind of rookies, guys who weren't deemed to be allowed even in the locker room. We were changing in hallways, so it wasn't just this storyline of us being rookies and nobody's in the business. We were actually treated like that behind the scenes for a long time.
And a totally different concept. For anybody that's listening to this who may not be familiar with the original NXT, it was almost a game show format. It really had very little to do with sports entertainment or the wrestling side of things at all. It was a lot of really bizarre stunts and competitions and things. And I mean, we got some pretty heavy-hitting stars out of it ultimately, but very, very drastically different from what we know and watch now on Tuesday nights at NXT. Who has caught your attention, Wade, since you've been back? Who's really sort of taken on the fan side of you as a competitor in NXT?
Oh, well, I think you just need to go back a couple of weeks to NXT War Games. I think I'd probably say my favorite match of the year in NXT was the men's War Games match. I think at this point in my career, I look at things a little differently than I did when I was younger. And I look more at the kind of future of the business and the business work that's being done. And what I really liked about the men's War Games match is the victors in that match were the new 2.0 stars, Bron Breakker, Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, and Tony D'Angelo. And I think what was achieved in that match with those guys winning is that we have 4 guys right there who for the next 5 years plus are going to be mainstays not only of NXT, but they're also going to be eventually moving on to SmackDown and Raw. And I like what was achieved in that match in that we've established these 4 new guys who, let's face it, 3 months ago, nobody had heard of any of them. And now they're all bona fide main event level superstars here in NXT and beyond after that. So I've really enjoyed that. I especially like Bron Breakker. I think everybody's talking about him right now. He has a great lineage that he's come from, and he's just an absolute natural. He's maybe only had 10 matches in his entire career, and he's already competing at a main event level with guys like Tommaso Ciampa, admittedly, who's going to kind of help him and walk him through a lot of things. But, I mean, to be able to step up that quickly is quite incredible. As I know from my own experience of trying to do that in the past, it's such a difficult thing to pull off, and he's nailed every single opportunity he's got. So Bron Breakker is the one big standout for me.
You talk about Bron, you talk about the rest of Team 2.0 too, but we've sat, in the back, taking a curtain down and have gotten ready for these shows. And you even told me, holy crap, this is Bron Breakker's 5th match and it's in War Games. I mean, how much credit do you give not only the superstars themselves, but also the coaching staff in NXT?
Yeah, it's quite remarkable, and that really is a big difference that I've noticed even from my time when I was coming up to Raw, SmackDown as a new superstar. I was put into a lot of positions where it was sink or swim, and on occasions I swam, on occasions I sank, but I think the level of coaching since my days has just stepped up to a different level. I think we had 3 coaches when I was in FCW. Now here they must have 10 to 15 of them, and the regular rotating guys in and out, and guys get
so many of them are bona fide main eventers. Like it's invaluable. Could you have imagined, Wade, when you first walked into FCW, having Shawn Michaels at your disposal? Like I think it gets glossed over sometimes, and I'll admit being guilty of this. The fact that we had access to Dusty Rhodes was invaluable. I mean, I know what Dusty taught me as a competitor, but even more so after my career had ended, after I got shut down, Dusty was the one who sort of opened his office to me and said, hey, kid, come with me. What do you need to learn? What do you want to learn? And I literally got to shadow Dusty for about the last year he was here. And the lessons that I learned and the knowledge about the business that he imparted was incredible. And now we unfortunately don't have Dusty Rhodes, but you've got Shawn Michaels. I mean, you got a who's who of coaches grooming the future now, which is exciting for the business as a whole.
Yeah, it's guys who have done it all before. And you're right about Dusty. And I was the same as you. I came to this country and I'd never cut a promo in my entire career. And promoing wasn't something that I felt comfortable with. It wasn't something that I ever thought was going to be a big part of my career. No, it's not really a thing for me. The British guys in general, historically, I don't think have been the best at promos. If you go back to the indie scene, it's just not something that British people tended to find naturally, having these big, boisterous personalities that a lot of the Americans and the brashness of the Americans they seem to have an easier way with it. But working with Dusty, he brought that out of me completely. And in all honesty, the promo side of things, even to this day, obviously, was the biggest aspect of my career that got me pushed forward. Winning NXT Season 1, being the leader of the Nexus, being Bad News Barrett. If you look at all the high points in my career, they are all correlated to my work on the mic, which directly goes back to the work I did with Dusty Rhodes back in FCW.
I just want to keep on keeping on, doing what I do, doing what I love, and helping FCW be the best it can be, and young men like Wade right here.
So I owe him a huge debt of thanks. And you're right, having guys like Shawn Michaels and Triple H here, being able to lean on them in this day and age, that's so invaluable for these youngsters who are coming up now.
No doubt. Somebody's got to talk him into the seats, right? I mean, Dusty taught us nothing else.
Yeah, modern man. So much fun just working with him every Wednesday in promo class. And that was a big part of the way that I went from being new guy, bottom of the class to, okay, this guy's in the upper echelon now. This is the guy we need to put some work into. It was that promo class with Dusty Rhodes and how I was able to stand out every week.
Like what you hear? Catch full episodes of After the Bell on Spotify. Follow us now and never miss an episode.